Hi and welcome to another video update from the Fire Brigade Union here in the Union's head office in London. We're joined by General Secretary Matt Rack to discuss a statement that's just been released by the National Joint Council in regard to firefighter pay. Now Matt, as I said, this statement has come out. It's a Joint Secretary's statement of which you're one, but really this started back at the NJC meeting in York in June. Can you just remind us what happened there and indeed what's happened since?
Okay, Tam. So the NJC is where we meet the fire service employers. In June, we had a discussion because we had just rejected through a ballot the pay proposal that they made earlier in the year. There was a whole number of reasons why people rejected that, but one of the ones that we pointed out to the employers was the hypothetical nature of that pay proposal, i.e. it wasn't guaranteed, it was a pay proposal, not a pay offer. And it's hypothetical because they rely on central government to increase funding to the fire service in order to give some of that to pay. So that's always been a problem. And what has emerged since the NJC is that problem has become worse, and it's become worse because of the political crisis that we're in nationally, with Brexit, the Tory party leadership, a possible new Prime Minister. So the employers were relying on what is called a spending review, whereby the government reviews spending. One possibility was that we could have made a case to a spending review for increased funding for the fire service. Because of the Tory leadership campaign, or Tory leadership process, that is now being pushed back. So there was an announcement by the Chief Secretary to the Treasury some time ago that would be pushed back significantly. It's now not likely to take place this year. It may not take place early next year. Nobody knows when it would take place. So that is the crux of the issue behind the most recent discussion and the point in the statement that refers to the exacerbated issue around the hypothetical nature of that pay proposal.
Now, Matt, you've mentioned some of the points in the statement. I mean, one that really jumps out is that the NJC has agreed to pause the national broadening of the role negotiation. And this is something that we've talked about many times. What does this actually mean for firefighters and the talks that have been underway?
Well, I think we've always been clear that we're willing to discuss broadening the role, but pay needs to be part of that. And not just hypothetical pay, but real pay. And the employer's problem, which is their problem rather than ours, is that as I say, it's become worse because of the political situation with central government, with the new potential new Prime Minister, and so on. So we've said actually we aren't willing to reach agreement on anything when there is no current likelihood that your funding for that pay rise is going to come. So that we've effectively jointly agreed that that aspect of it means that we need to pause those negotiations. That means we're not giving up on it. We're quite happy to discuss broadening the role, but pay is central to that, and therefore currently those discussions, those negotiations cannot continue.
Well, Matt, this process may have paused, but of course for firefighters, crucially, they want a pay rise. That's what the union's been fighting for. I mean, in the statement it talks about here that the employers will respond by the end of the month. What does that mean?
Well, we in the NJC meeting in June, we're very clear to them, our members expect a pay rise, they expect it by the 1st of July. We've made that point in all the discussions subsequently. We've then agreed to pause the discussions on broadening the role. We are aware that the employers are meeting in consultation meetings with Fire Authority chairs, other employers, with chief fire officers in 2 meetings coming up very shortly, and they will have to explain to their side this latest stage of these discussions. So the statement does say that that both sides expect the employers to respond on the issue of pay before the end of the month. So I suppose it's not a satisfactory position, but it means that they are, I think, have got to very sharply consider what are they going to do about pay, because they know our conference has voted, our conference has made decisions, we're going to campaign, that's where we are. We expect the employers to therefore respond very quickly on this issue.
Now Matt, just finally, I mean, I've been in some of the NJC meetings and I've seen the anger you've displayed towards employers in regard to the driving down of firefighter pay over a considerable period of time. What's your message to the members out there watching it? What should they be doing next at the stations, control rooms and other workplaces that they're at just now?
Well, Tam, we've explained actually that part of our concern, one of our concern is we've got people all over the country, in our view, doing work that they're not really being paid for. And we've made that point to the employers. We need to think about where that goes further down the line. And part of our case for a pay rise is things that people are already doing. In reality, like other public sector workers, we've had now a decade of pay freezes. It's absolutely sickening, outrageous. That requires political change as much as anything else. But we're going to have to step up our campaigning. We need to see what the employers do before the end of the month, and then we will. Our brigade committees, our branches are starting to discuss these issues. We discussed this at the Executive Council today, and we will consider what the employers say, and then we will determine our next move at that point.
Matt, thanks very much indeed. Now, clearly there's going to be many updates coming out in regard to this vital issue. You can get them by going to our website, that's www.fbu.org.uk, but we can send them straight to you via our electronic bulletin called Roll Call. To sign up to Roll Call, go to the website, the front page, scroll down, put in your email address, and we'll send updates straight to your electronic inbox. Until next time, thanks for joining us, and Matt, thanks very much.
Thanks, Sean.